Welcome to Beyond the Box, Unlocking Creative Mortgage Solutions. I'm your host and creative financing expert, Brett Clark. This podcast is for realtors looking to offer more to their clients and loan officers seeking new knowledge. We'll dive into non-QM loans, creative strategies, and trends to help you grow your business and serve clients better. Let's unlock smarter solutions and build stronger partnerships along the way. Ready? Let's get started. Hey, and welcome back to Beyond the Box, Unlocking Creative Mortgage Solutions. I'm Brett Clark, and today we're talking about something every realtor and loan officer faces at some point in time. If you haven't faced it yet, you will. It is objections. Specifically, objections on the loan officer side of fees and pricing. For realtors, I'm sure you guys hear it all the time. I like this house, but it doesn't have something, or it costs too much, or your fees too much. With everything that's going on with NAR right now, you guys might be hearing a little bit more about fees as well. So how do we take these objections and flip the script? So that's what we're doing today. These conversations feel challenging, but they are opportunities. Opportunities to educate, build trust, even strengthen relationships with clients that we've worked with in the past. And by the end of this episode, you'll have actionable tips, specific phrases, and strategies to handle these objections confidently and effectively. So let's flip the script and turn these tough conversations into opportunities. Let's dive in. Objections. Oh my goodness. Well, where do they even come from? Why do we deal with them? Well, it comes down to perception. Clients perceive cost, but don't understand the value behind it. And this is them not seeing the full picture of what you bring to the table. Or they might be comparing your offer to something they found online or heard from something else without any of the actual details of that transaction. Another common issue is a lack of understanding. If clients don't fully grasp the process, they might think that they're paying for something they don't actually need, or that they could get cheaper somewhere else. It's not about them being difficult, it's our opportunity to bridge the gap in communication. So how do we bridge that gap? By flipping the script, taking the focus off of price and shifting it to value and the outcome. Let's get into doing just that, flipping the script. Let's get into some strategies addressing objections that we see most frequently on the loan officer side, that realtors, if you look at the basis, you can see them in your business as well. Here's a few common objections. Again, we're going to use 3, and how you can respond confidently in that. Remember, it's not what you say, but how they feel. I want to emphasize that as we are inside sales, we want to make sure that our clients are feeling a certain way, because most of the time as human beings, we act emotionally and then rationally. So how can we make them feel in that moment with our confidence to move forward? The first objection that we hear all the time is, why are your fees higher? In the non-QM space, we hear about fees or rates a little bit more because money is not free. So the more creative we have to be with a scenario, the more it costs because of the higher risk. We're taking that on. But that's not what we're going to tell the client. We're not going to try to get into the weeds with them. We want to come back as a confident response. And so this is a classic one in ways that you can respond. One way that you could go about it is, we're not just providing a loan, we're delivering a custom solution tailored to your unique goals. And here's what that means for you. Then you can break down what services we include. Maybe it's the flexibility of non-QM loans, your expertise in navigating complex scenarios, your ability to work with clients and get them to closing better than your colleagues or your competitors. This is where you can add your real life examples. This works great here because now you're backing up how your services actually look. This is a great way to add in your expertise with value. You are now providing value. You are not just a transaction, but a service. Another common objection is, I found a lower rate or lower fee somewhere else. This one's about redirecting the conversation, saying something like, rates are important, but let's talk about the full picture. What's your timeline, your goals, what's at stake? Here's why this solution aligns better with your needs. Focus on the trade-offs between rates and pricing and what value you bring to the scenario. One of the things that I see most commonly when it comes to creative borrowing is that the clients decide that they think that they're smarter than us, and they go out and they say, well, online I saw that so-and-so can do this. But they're not actually looking at the guidelines behind it. And so they're not actually seeing what somebody else can do. They're just taking that sticker shock or that headline without looking at the details within. And those are some of the areas where we can actually say, this fits your profile because, and really turn it into the gap of communication. Educating your clients so that they trust you through the process because you are actually looking out what's best for them, instead of just using the easiest option. This third objection is something that I'm seeing more frequently among first-time home buyers or primary home buyers instead of investors, and it's I'm not sure it's worth it. And the reason they're having that hesitation is because they're seeing that sticker shock of a higher rate or the fee because it's not 2% or 3% that we saw during COVID. But that is because we aren't taking the time to educate them on the investment opportunity that they have and educating ourselves on the history behind all of the growth and all of the companies that took their chance in the worst period of time, which is kind of what we're seeing in the market, and thriving going forward. And right now is the best time for them to buy because we know that things are going to get better. It can't get too much worse than we're already at. And so this is our opportunity in the I'm not sure it's worth it to educate them on why it is worth it. We can step back and say, I understand. Let's break down what you're getting here and how it compares to alternatives. Often the cheapest option can cost more in the long run. This is one of those things that I bring up a lot of the time with down payment assistance programs because people think that there's free money attached in that, instead of actually looking at, oh, I'm going to have to pay this back if I move within 15 years. Oh, this is going to have to come back out of here. Where's the interest on this? And money's not free. And so we have to be able to show them long-term versus short-term and where they can make the best bang for their buck. And that's how we show it is worth it because of this savings or this long run or this appreciation in the long run. And using your expertise and your experience or your knowledge to get over that objection of, if you do this, the cheapest option could lead to delays, a higher cost, missed opportunities, and you can paint the clear picture for your client. I want you to notice that none of these responses are defensive. We're not getting on the defense. We're going to stay calm, logical, and focused on educating the client. That's the key to unlocking the secret. The key is the conversation and helping them get to their goals and how you're going to help them towards what they want to do, like a coach would. Every objection is an opportunity. And when you look at that perspective, you will see the potential out there in the market today. Let me share a quick story that I have had recently. I had a client that was going through the FHA process, was looking at a lower rate. FHA generally is, but FHA always has mortgage insurance, and they wanted to put 10% down. There was a problem with the tax return when it got filed, and we had to flip over to a bank statement loan. And the sticker shock of the 2% higher interest rate was the point where he wanted to terminate on it. And we were able to sit down and talk about that objection. And we were able to sit down with his accountant and see some of the benefits of that interest. This took an objection and turned it into an opportunity because he's become one of my biggest advocates, referring friends and colleagues, specifically in the self-employed communities, which I love. And that turned into building trust and a longer term relationship. So don't always see objections as a no. They're an invitation to dig deeper, to educate, and to connect. This is where you can build that trust, where opportunities you'll create not just for this deal, but for future business as well. Now that we've seen a couple objections and how it's worked in my life, I want to leave you with a toolkit of a couple phrases that you can use to navigate these conversations with confidence. One of them could be, let's look at what this investment brings to the table. Another, here's why this solution was designed specifically for situations like yours. Another is, I hear you. Let's explore how this fits your goals. And the last one, I want to make sure you're comfortable with the process. Let's talk about why this option stands out. These phrases shift the focus from defending your fees to collaborating on solutions. One tip, practice these responses ahead of time. Role play objections with a colleague or a mentor or a coach that can help you feel more confident about how that real conversation will flow. To wrap it up, objections about fees and pricings are not the end of the conversation. They're the beginning of a new opportunity. When you take the time to listen, to educate, and to show your value, you're not only overcoming objections, but you're also building trust, long-term relationships that lead to more referrals and repeat business. So here's my big ask. I can only help as many people as can hear. And so if you think that things like this are helpful, then please share this podcast out with someone who would use these strategies and could really get ahead in today's market. Whether it's a colleague, a realtor partner, or even a friend in the business, let's spread the word and help more professionals turn these tough conversations into opportunities to grow. And if you have a story or a tip about handling objections, I'd love to hear it. Send me a message or connect with me on LinkedIn to share your thoughts. Together, we can keep finding creative solutions and building stronger partnerships. Thanks again for tuning in to Beyond the Box, Unlocking Creative Mortgage Solutions. I'll catch you next time.